Fifth grade into math, lesson 17.6, divide decimals. I can divide a decimal by a decimal. Step it out. Marisol sets up a lemonade stand at the end of the day. She does $8.75. About how many cups of lemonade did Marisol sell? So what is the division problem you are trying to find? So we have our $8.75. My picture's kind of blurry. How much is each cup? 25 cents. Okay, so what is our total or our dividend? $8.75 divided by 25 cents. Okay, so how could you write this problem as a fraction? So what else can we do? What does that division symbol also represent if we would do it fraction-wise? The fraction bar, right? Okay, a fraction bar also means division in some instances, right? Would we necessarily need the dollar sign? Okay, so we could put 8, and you guys can put this on the line. It's just harder for me to write up here. So 8 and 7/500 divided by 2500, right? Okay, so what number could you multiply the numerator and denominator by to write an equivalent fraction with whole numbers? Okay, so this is kind of what we talked about yesterday. Remember how I told you that we were going to learn that you have to divide by whole numbers and you can't divide by decimals. So what you do to the divisor, you have to do to the dividend, right? Okay, so if I wanted to have a whole number here, what am I going to multiply that by? 100, okay? So we would do 100, okay? And like I told you guys yesterday, what I do to the dividend, I also have to do to the divisor, okay? So if I multiply the top times 100, what would that be? It would be 875, right? And if I multiply the bottom times 100, what would that be? 225, right? Because basically, I move the decimal over twice, right? And then I move the decimal over twice here, right? Okay. So write and solve the new division problem shown by the equivalent fraction. So basically, we now have 875 divided by 25. Okay. So I'm going to put 875 in the house as the dividend and 25 out here as the divisor. Okay. So my decimal will go straight up because it'd be back here, right? All right. 25 into 8. 0 times. 25 into 87. 3 times minus 75 leaves me with 12, and I bring down the 5. How many quarters go into 125, $1.25? 5. 5 times 5 is 5. Mentally carry the 2. 2 times, 5 times 2 is, plus 2 is 12. And do I have anything left over? No. So, they want to know, so we got 35, right? Okay, so how can you use the quotient to solve the original division problem? So basically, that 35 tells us what? How many cups, right? So she sold 35 cups. Step it out, number 2. James writes his about 16 and 32 hundredths of miles. He writes about 9 and 16 miles each hour. How many hours does it take James to ride this distance? So we have our 16 and 32 hundredths, 9 and 6 tenths. How many hours does it take James to ride this distance? Okay, so what division expression models the situation? So what is our whole number? 16 and 32 hundredths. And then divided by 9 and 6 tenths, right? Estimate your answer. So basically they want us to get an estimation so we know that we're close when we get our actual answer. So 9 and 6/10, what would I estimate that to? 9 or 10? 10. Okay. So we always do that first. We always estimate the divisor first. 10. What's a multiple of 10 that gets me close to 16? What's the low side? 10. What's the high side? 20. Okay. Now, I could have also estimated that to 9 and then did what? 18. Okay. So I could have went either way. So we'll just say 20. So then this gets us 2. Because even if I would have done the 9 and the 18, what would I have got as my estimate? 2. Okay. So how can you write the division problem as a fraction? So we can write it as what? So 16 and 32/100 over 9 and 6/10, right? Write an equivalent fraction with the whole number denominator. So basically, what have I told you guys? You cannot divide by a decimal, so you have to get a whole number. So how many places would I have to move that decimal over in the divisor? 1. So if I move it over 1 place here, I have to move it over 1 place here. Now, does that still leave me with the decimal and the dividend? Yes, but is that okay? Yes. So now my new one is going to be 163 and 2/10. Oh, whoops, sorry, that's what they want down here. We just did that up there on C. So 163 and 2/10 divided by 96, right? Okay, so now over here, I'm going to write 163 and 2/10 divided by 96. Okay, so what do I do first? Bring my decimal straight up. Okay, how many times does 96 go to 1? 96 into 16. No, 96 into 163. 1 time minus 96. Okay, so this becomes a 13, this becomes a 15, and this becomes a 0. So 13 minus 6 is 7, 15 minus 9 is 4, and bring down the 2. How many times does 96 go to 472? What would get us with a 2 at the end times 6? 2 would get us 12. So that's 7. Let's try 7. Okay, so we'll put a 7 here. And if we put a 7 and we figure out it doesn't work, can we rechange it? Yep, that's what you write in pencil, right? You can erase it and then go with a different number. 7 times 6 is 42. Put the 2, mentally carry the 4. 7 times 9 is what? 63 plus 4 is what? No. Oh, yeah, because I put the wrong thing here. There should be a 6 and a 4. So 7 times 9 is?
7 times 9 is 63.
Plus 4 is? Okay, and we have nothing left over, right? So is our answer reasonable? So yes, because 1.7 is close to 2, right? So how many hours is James right? 1 and 7, 10
hours.
7 hours per hour. Track understanding. A school shirt sells for $8.25. So far, $57.75 has been raised from selling the shirt. How many shirts have been sold? So yeah, this, and then how many shirts have been sold? So what is our total? What is our dividend going to be? 57 and 7,500 go in the house, okay? And then $8.25 comes out here to the side, okay? So Can I divide by a decimal? No. So how many places to the right do I need to loop it? 2 places. So I took it times 100, right? So if I looped it 2 places to the right there, I have to loop it 2 places to the right there and put my decimal straight up. Okay? So now we're dividing by 825. So we got some big numbers today, right? Okay? So 825, does it go into 5? No. 57? 577? 5,775? Yep. How many times? 7. Let's try 7. Like I said, we can always put it, and then if we find out that it doesn't work, then can we change it? Yes. Okay, so 7 times 5 is? Put the 5, mentally carry the 3. Now, if you can't mentally carry it and things like that, could I also work it out over to the side? Yeah. Okay, I could take 825 times 7 over to the side. So 5 mentally carry the 3. 7 times 2 is, plus 3 is, put the 7, mentally carry the 1. 7 times 8 is, plus 1 is. So then did that give me my answer?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, so how many shirts? 7 shirts. Okay, and so basically today for any of your answers, you guys will only have 1 place past the decimal if you don't have a whole number. Okay, otherwise all your answers will only go to the 10th place. All right, you'll have a whole number and possibly to the 10th place or just a whole number. Okay, so that will help you so then you're not having to get clear off out over past the decimal. Okay, so number 2, we have 12 and 7,600 divided by 3 and 1,900. Okay, how many places do we have to move the decimal over? 2, because we can't divide by a decimal, so we're going to move it over 2 places to have a whole number. Move it over 2 places and put my decimal. Okay, so 319 is what we're dividing by, right? Okay, so, and once again, if you don't feel like you have enough room, you can always get an extra sheet of paper, right? Okay, so 319 into 1. 12? 127? So we're going into 1,276, right? Okay, so how many times do you think that can go in there? 4. Okay, let's try it. We can always erase if we need to. 4 times 9 is put the 6, mentally carry the 3. 4 times 1 is, plus 3 is, 4 times 3 is, anything left over? Nope. So my answer is 4.